Hi everyone, how's it going? Bonnie Violet, trans, femme, genderqueer, spiritual drag artist, digital chaplain.
And I'm Pacey, transmasc, non-binary, mental health and recovery advocate.
And welcome to Transjoy Boise, where every story, laugh, act, and act of joy is a stand for our community.
We uplift bold voices, share real experiences, and celebrate trans lives thriving.
Tune in, connect, and spread the joy, because trans joy is
unstoppable.
Nice.
That one felt rushed. We'll get through it. We're gonna get through it today.
Every time, yes. Every time. But
yeah,
it was funny. I was in my partner and I, we were going to bed last night and we were just like chatting away or whatever, and he goes, my little like Alexa's name is Echo.
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, Echo, who's Bonnie Violet? He goes, Bonnie Violet is a trans femme genderqueer spiritual.
Really?
It was so funny.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
I was like, oh my god, how embarrassing.
No, I like that. I know someone else in our community posted the results when they like asked who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty funny. So I would be nervous about what it would say about me.
It was funny because it was just Bonnie Violet. It wasn't like, my full name or anything like that. Not that most people really know my full name, I don't think.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. I feel antsy today.
I can relate to that.
Kind of just...
I don't get why.
Yeah, everything's going so well.
So smooth.
We're coming down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wednesday as we're filming this, and the march is in 2 days.
Yes.
And I think it's normal to be nervous about something like that.
Yes.
Even if it's going like perfectly.
And in a lot of ways, it's going really great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In a lot of ways,
but there's a couple
we're way more prepared. Yeah.
There are a couple big things that we had already lined up last year that we've been challenged with this year that I think adds an extra eek.
Big time. Yeah. So I'm just excited for the day to be here and for us to be able to enjoy it and not have to worry about everything that goes into planning it.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel like we've had, and I think we've talked about it too. It feels different this year. Last year there was an excitement, I think, with it being new and never been done. It was also just a different environment. I think this year we've all taken a beating in a lot of ways. And I think, and it's still kind of happening as we're trying to get things together. We're really struggling still to get access to insurance and security, which is we actually got the insurance. Yeah. So we're all set there, but it has been a journey. We've literally had to call our friends at Kenyon County Pride, Northern Idaho Pride, Seattle Trans Pride, fucking Gender Justice League, and in DC, Pocatello, Idaho Falls folks, we've like tapped into, we're like calling bars and like, hey, strip clubs, like looking for certified folks, and we just have not been able to find anyone who's willing to do it, except for there was one really great group out of Idaho Falls. You said they were really great to talk to, but it's like $5,000 just because they're traveling so far, and it's just like we don't have that in the budget.
No, certainly not to pay that much. But the guy that I spoke to was really nice in Idaho Falls, and he told me something that was surprising. Now it makes more sense, but he said that he won't even work in Ada County. He said that it's just different. He's worked in Jerome County and like Twin Falls, and he said that the communities there are much more accepting and open-minded than in Boise. And that blew my mind, because I was thinking like Boise's blue, and I just automatically assume that these smaller towns are strictly red. But now after this last year, I can see how red it certainly has become in Boise. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure there's probably just also with it being a larger city and all the other crap or whatever, there's lots of room for bureaucracies and all these extra things people want done, and then all these extra people you have to go through to get anything done too.
Well, it's even like for 4th of July, my partner and I went to Stanley,
Mhm.
and we did the same thing last 4th of July also. And just how different things were in a fucking year was
Mhm.
unbelievable. It was dangerous there this year.
Oh wow.
And like that guy threatened my partner with like one of those stereotypically like 90s bully moves of like, you know, it's like, and my partner is like 110 pounds,
Right.
soaking wet, right?
Mhm.
Like, okay, that's a big man, right? But it felt like that everywhere in Stanley. And everywhere that we've gone since last year has felt like decidedly more hostile.
Mhm.
And I think that, you know, you see it in overt ways with people, you know, being rude or harassing people, but I think it's a lot more subtle. And I think we're running into the subtleties, you know, the things that people aren't necessarily saying out loud, but are embodying, you know, just all of this fucking propaganda that, and I mean, I understand it because it's such an onslaught of this propaganda. And if you are exposed to something for so long, you're going to start to believe it a little bit.
Yeah.
And if they don't have people in their lives that can challenge that, whether it's allies or trans, non-binary people, you know, that's going to go unchecked.
Mhm.
And we're seeing the consequences of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. I spent some time with my family the last couple of days, and I won't say which one, but I was talking with one of my family members, and we were like on the freeway or something, and we saw one of those cyber trucks.
Yeah.
And he's like, said something about, he's like, those are the ugliest things. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of a douche mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, should I say that? But I'm like, just not like, you know, and I was like, and it's not like they picked the best mascot for the thing either way. He goes, or they were like, yeah, he's like Hitler. Elon's like the next Hitler. And I'm like, Elon or Trump?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, Trump is great. Trump is doing great things. Like, he's like, and I'm just like, really? I'm like, how's that? And they're like, well, you know, all these, they're letting all these folks come in from like the Middle East and all this sort of stuff. And they're giving them grants of like hundreds of thousands of dollars so they can start businesses and like all this sort of stuff. And I'm just like, oh, and he's like, and I was just like, oh, are they? I was like, well, those are, if that's happening, they're like going through the process and getting approval to do all this. It's not like a lot of what's happening with Trump is he's allegedly going after people who are illegally here,
right?
Not people who are going through a process to come into the country
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I mean? And so I was just like, and I was like, you know, I was like, Trump is rounding up brown people and taking them and putting them in camps. Like, how is that not closer to Hitler? You know what I mean? Like, and I was talking with him and I was just like, and you know, and it's not too much, it's not like too far fetched to think that maybe at some point in time, like they'll start coming after people like me, you know, for these things. And, you know, it's a little bit like whatever, but it was interesting to have this conversation with him because we've never really talked about this sort of stuff before. And he's like, well, no, that's crazy. And I was like, well, is it? I was like, the government is working really hard to get people's names who are trans from medical facilities and all this sort of stuff. Like, who's to say, like, what do they need it for? Why do they need to know this if they're not going to do something about it? You know what I mean? So it's like, I think he kind of heard some of it, but I was just like, and I realized how much, like, in some ways, how ill prepared I am to respond.
Yeah.
In those situations.
Yeah. It's because it's
in a way that's helpful.
An emotional response a lot of the time, especially if it's like a family member, because I don't understand like the cognitive dissonance that goes into believing these things and like knowing the truth but believing something else.
Yeah.
And just because they don't want to believe that they could be bad, like I couldn't possibly be racist, so he's not doing these things because he is racist. But one thing that you touched on that I think is really important, there's a new person very high up in the FBI, and I believe his name is Andrew Bailey. And this guy is fucking dangerous. Like he campaigned on, because he was like the attorney general for Minnesota, I don't remember what state, but he campaigned on like anti-trans bullshit. He got in trouble for trying to access secure files from trans clinics, and all the list goes on and on, right? Now he's very high up in the FBI. And the FBI doesn't have control over ICE, but they work very closely with the people that do.
Mhm.
And I think that we're starting to see the infiltration of these hateful bigots into very high-ranking positions that could potentially influence things that will directly impact us, such as ICE.
Mhm.
And I think that what you're saying, it isn't far-fetched at all. It never was in this administration, but it's becoming less so.
Yeah. Well, and I think even this person, when I was talking with them, they were like, when I said, "Oh, but they're this and this is," and then he was like, "Oh yeah." So I think in some ways, because I know a lot of it is there's a lot of information out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really easy to glean onto one part of the information, and then cannot even really think about the rest until it's brought up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's that too,"
Mm-hmm.
and so it definitely felt like it, in a lot of ways it was like a useful conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see that. Like he didn't think I was talking crazy. He was like, "No, that makes sense." So I don't know, it was just kind of interesting.
It's hard because like one thing that my partner's much more equipped to do things like this than I am, but a lot of their clients a couple of their clients are very conservative, and they'll have conversations about things that they believe in, and we agree on so many things, like you and that family member, right? If you sit down and you're thinking about like where you want your taxes to go, like how you want children to be protected, all of these things, you can be like, yeah, I want the same thing. But as soon as it's labeled like left and right, then it's like, no, fuck you, I don't want what you want. And it's like, okay, if we could take that out of the equation, I think that we'd be able to get a lot more done. But there's just this cult of personality that's like, my allegiance isn't to my beliefs anymore, it's to Trump.
Yeah. And like this person is like one of the first people in my family to like call me by my name and honor my pronouns, and like if not the first. Like, so it's like, so it's interesting to me sometimes when there's that dissonance where it's like, I know you, I know how you act, and I know how you are, and this is not in alignment with that. You know what I mean? Or it's like, no, you don't. No,
don't think that.
No.
That's gotta be really frustrating.
Yes, I mean, part of me just sometimes, I think I've been at times feeling like, well, what's the use in like trying to bait it or change their mind or that sort of stuff. And so I felt like this was like probably one of the more better conversations, because we did kind of like, I was kind of like, oh, okay, so let's say that's true. What about, you know what I mean? Just to kind of like get the thinking a little bit more. But
yeah, well, one topic that's come up recently like that has been the topic of mental health. And it's because the most recent mass shooter was trans. And now, of course, conservatives are framing it that, trans people are violent, but God, I saw the numbers somewhere, I'll figure it out, where like 1% of mass shooters are, I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. It was really interesting, but I've been seeing a lot of people, particularly cis men, commenting on my things like, well, when are we going to talk about mental health? And I'm like, let's talk about mental health. You want to talk about mental health? Let's talk about it, but
they want to say a trans person is mentally ill.
Exactly.
That's what they want to say. They don't really want to talk about mental health.
Right. But I like to bring up the things that matter to them too, because I'll say, okay, say a transgender person does get diagnosed with a mental illness. What they're going to get diagnosed with is gender dysphoria. Right. That is in no way, shape, or form psychotic, violent. It doesn't manifest or present in violence in any way, right? Those are going to be other mental illnesses. Right. And if we're going to talk about the other mental illnesses, we're going to be talking about like things that are, psychosis, things of that nature. But if we really want to get down to the nitty-gritty mental health issues of mass shootings, we need to talk about the things that are affecting cis men, because they are 98% of mass shooters. And that cis men are more likely to die by violent means of suicide. They're more likely to have heart attacks. They're more likely to have all of these health issues because of like this weird toxic masculinity thing where they can't ask for help.
Right. And there's usually that level of incel, right?
Oh yeah.
Being an incel. Like involuntary celibate for folks who.
Because they're very lonely and all of this. I think that So in a roundabout way, like, yes, we do need to talk about mental health, but not for the reasons that you think.
Yeah.
But it's sad to me. I'm able to separate it enough to feel compassion for these men, because they've got to be so lonely, and a lot of them are so mentally ill and miserable and desperate and fighting with like poverty, all of these things. And yeah, they're taking it out on us because like, who isn't right now?
Yeah.
But
well, and some of it is, I think one of the things that's interesting about it too, it's like, and I tend to not be this person, but I do think in general there's this idea of like, okay, usually a young man, kid, shoots up a whole bunch of people, he's a monster, right? Like very easily be like, he's a monster. Right. Then like as trans people, I think maybe, I don't know, and this again, it's very general, but my thinking is it's like easy to say, oh yeah, he's a monster, right? Because part of this, like all this stuff that makes our lives difficult. But then when it's like a trans woman that does it, there's almost this sense of like, well, I'm sure, you know, and so not in a way that I think is just honest, right? Like a real way, because I think we relate to them a little bit more. And maybe that's some of what happens on the other side, is that a lot of these cis straight older guys, not older gay guys, maybe the gay guys too, but they sympathize with this young person maybe a little bit more, or they feel like they have to stick up for them or speak, you know what I mean? And so I think at the end of the day, it's all really sad, and people don't kill people just cuzzies. Like there's something going on.
And I also heard like the shooter had detransitioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that, of course that doesn't change their argument.
No.
But yeah, I completely agree. I think that,
well, and part of that is, I mean, there's just so many layers to that. Not knowing all the details is like, okay, well, why did they detransition? And maybe that having to detransition, you know, like there's a lot of like it's never justified, but like is what led to this, like feeling attacked by, because I think the big narrative now that I think it's something to think about, but I think that it's so wild to me how Christians are so quick to like take into like they're the victim. And so it's like a lot of this, like because it was like a Catholic school, then it was like a hate crime against Christians, and but kind of painting it in like it's all about anti-Christian stuff, and it's like this situation, and maybe it was to some degree because they felt attacked by this group or something, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's really hard to know all the details of these specific things, but I think it just elucidates the complexities, and what I believe is that like kind of like it's a societal issue. It's because of the way we are in the world and how we treat people in the world and how the world is designed that people grow up to be mass shooters, just like back in the 70s when people were growing up to be serial killers. You know what I mean? Or all of those sorts of things. So I think it's all about just kind of like and I think also if you look at the manifestation of who gets impacted by HIV more than others, you can also see that that's a product of society. And you can see that the marginalization and the racism and the sexism and
absolutely
all that stuff really leads into the vulnerabilities and the likelihood of someone getting HIV over someone who doesn't have that experience. So it's all like a huge societal thing.
I agree completely. I also just think that, you know, anyone that is capable of shooting children,
they're not okay,
is the most cowardly, fucking awful people that you could be. Like, yeah, you're mentally ill, fucking clearly, right? Get help for it. You know, there's never an excuse to go and shoot children. And I think that the fact that they're trying to make it be like, oh, it's because they're trans, like fucking way. Like that, no. Like it makes me mad. Obviously, so many layers of it make me mad, but like it feels very personal when they assume that we're violent, because but
that's the thing about being part of a minority. It's like it just takes one bad one to make us all look bad, right? Like I'm being very flippant about that.
Oh no, you're totally right.
There's definitely a lot of that idea of like, oh, like when another marginalized person is doing something, like we were talking about something earlier that I won't talk about, but like just this idea that there's a part of us who's doing something where we're like, oh, don't do that. Like that makes us look bad, you know, like that sort of like,
absolutely. Yeah. When I heard that they were trans, like initially, regardless of the detransition, I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because of course it's a horrible tragedy. I'm not trying to make light of that or take away from that, but my gut reaction was a lot of us are going to be hurt because of this, or you know. And then there were Republicans that were celebrating the shooting. They were like, this is a great victory for us. I have screenshots of it. I can post it, because they knew that they got to, this was their opportunity to flip the script and say, and now fucking RFK is wanting to conduct studies to see if gender affirming care hormones cause violence. So to me, that seems like they're just setting the foundation
and if they did,
to ban them.
And if they did, there would be so many more shootings.
Exactly. But they're just trying to set it up so they can ban it.
That's just crazy.
It's fucking bananas. And to circle back, these are all of the many reasons why the march is important.
Yeah.
Because the world, we're living in the upside down right now. It just doesn't seem possible that this is the same country that we were living in a year ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it wasn't great a year ago at all. Like, it was still real fucking rough.
And a year ago seems like, because can you believe I've been dating my partner a year now?
No way.
Isn't that crazy?
I can't even
in
believe
some
that.
ways it's like a year, and in other ways it's like, fuck, that was a long time ago.
Because I'm thinking like, oh well, yeah, that makes sense, because like
last March
a few months ago when we were doing the burn, preparing for it.
Yeah, and we'd
Jesus
like he was in like, he wasn't actually here for Pride, but we were already like hanging out for the march. So I was like, oh yeah, I was around now.
I remember. I love that. That's fucking crazy. This whole year, like, I've gotten into trouble with some of my friends, especially friends that live out of state, because it seems like I put my head down to work on something, and when I looked up, it was like 10 months later.
Yeah, I know. I feel like when we took the little time to just study for LSAT and me try to like tend to my family, like, it just seemed like it was a lot. It was like, it just seemed like it really wasn't that long, but it felt like we were apart from everything for a long time. And then it feels like there's just a lot of catch up.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, which is wild. Which I think is also partly why things are a little challenged right now. I think even in putting this event together and stuff, only in the sense of we probably would have had these same problems. We just might have had a little bit of time to like figure out a solution or a remedy to what's going on. Because I think part of it is we're just running out of time.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Because there are so many different moving parts and people that are involved and have to do this and that it just takes time.
We really only have one puzzle piece left.
Yes.
And regardless of if we get that done in time, we're still going to have a great time.
Yes, we're going to have an amazing
It's going to be so much fun at the rally, and the after party is going to be badass. I went and helped because they're doing that remodel. I was able to help for a couple hours one day.
How's it looking?
It looks great.
Oh, good.
It looks fantastic.
I told myself I was going to go do that this weekend, and I just got stuck.
Yeah, with I was only able to go for maybe an hour and a half because I've been working on my applications.
Right.
But they painted the inside of the lounge, and I guess they painstakingly chose like these colors, and they ended up being the colors of the logo.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, you guys didn't. I walked in there and I was like, oh, it's the logo. And they're like, oh, we didn't even do that on purpose. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Of the Queerly Collected?
No, the Lavender Lounge.
I was going to say Lavender Lounge. I'm assuming it's lavender.
So it's like purple
like an eggplant
and a gold. Yeah.
Yeah, like a dark, like a dark eggplant.
Like almost like that and gold, and then they got the fencing around the patio, which I think is really good because, you know, sometimes it feels like people are staring at you if you're sitting out there.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good. We have a DJ.
Yes, DJ Jilly FM, which I was really excited. We were really wanting to try to get a trans or non-binary DJ, and it took us a minute, but we did get one.
Pulled that out.
And I'm really excited to have them. They're a regular DJ at the Hap Hap Lounge and Banana something.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
The banana.
I can't remember what
it's banana
called.
something.
It's something banana.
Space banana?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think it's Space Banana. I was immediately going to say banana stand because I'm sure there are people that will understand that reference.
I'm way too old and way too
I've
not
never
a
been to
club
Space
girl,
Banana.
I guess.
I heard that it's really fun, but very small.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of queer folk go to Hap Hap. too,
That's where I do
but
trivia
yeah,
every Tuesday.
you have said that, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's just above Tree Fort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's great. I love it. Trivia is great.
We're
People
excited
should
to
go.
have them. We're gonna have some pop-up performers. Frida Nights,
Great nights will be there.
Caramel out of Twin Falls. Yes, she's
love
coming
Caramel.
up. And then Onyx Storm, who is a new person in my
Yeah, they
world,
started,
at least. Drag King.
I've been watching their progression with performing, and I've always thought that like their makeup is fucking great. Like it almost
Yeah.
looks like a comic book style,
Mhm.
which I think is sick. I love that.
Yeah,
and
and
they're so nice.
Mm.
You know, they're just seem to be such a nice, good person. So I'm
Mhm.
really, really glad that
Yeah, they're definitely one of those drag kings with like all the swagger. That, like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Mhm.
Backstreet Boy kind of like,
Mhm.
but with hair vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they do have some looks that are like that are very like almost makeup, but boy, like almost like I would almost want to say femboy,
Yeah.
just because it's like bright colors and stuff
Right,
like that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the things when I first Buck Delicious. We originally asked Buck, they weren't available, and was like, you should ask Onyx. And so I was like, sure.
That's too bad Buck couldn't be there.
Yeah, I think if we could have got to folks a little bit earlier, because
Yeah.
and a lot of them were like, oh, I'd love to, but I made other plans or whatever, because like Cora was also going to sing,
Mhm.
which we are at the we can talk about our speakers. We do have
Mhm.
Rachel Motivated,
Richly motivated.
who is
will
a
be
drag
there.
performer, but also just a
Just
badass human.
Yeah, and a wonderful speaker. She worked with us when we partnered with the ACLU for the Scrimeti decision, and just active in the community with different groups, and I think just a really powerful voice.
Yeah, well, the last time we had her on the podcast not that long ago, and she was talking about her 9/11 show, which is like
Yeah.
next week.
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
So wild.
Oh, we gotta go to that. I want
I
to see
know. Time is flying.
that. Yeah. God, it's the end of summer.
It is. It is.
I'm ready for fall, but not winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you and I are gonna MC.
Yeah, we'll be at. That makes me nervous. There's gonna be a lot of people.
Just think of we did it at the lounge for that Here to Pee thing.
Yeah,
and we did
true.
we did okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it. With speaking in front of people, it's just not my fucking favorite.
Yeah.
I'm just so nervous.
I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be a lot more comfortable now. Like a lot has happened.
A lot has happened
in that time frame, and you've been in a lot of like the rally scene quite a bit. So I'm sure it probably helped you feel a little bit more comfortable, because it's like, oh, I know this place.
It helps that we're not going to be like up there reading a whole ass speech.
Yeah.
Because that would make me nervous, but we're just going to be like announcing people and shit. So
yeah, we're going to have about 5 speakers, and we're going to have Serafina is going to be singing an anthem of some sort. You'll have to come to know what song that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had talked about the after party, and then the village.
Yeah,
just a hangout spot.
The village will be good.
I was making the posters a little bit, and I was like, all tea and a little shade, trans village.
That's perfect.
Right. Yeah. And then there's that you can sit with us. That's what I also put.
Oh,
I thought it was clever. I thought it was clever. Bring your own blankets.
Little fucking Mean Girls reference.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
so I thought it was kind of cute.
No, I like it.
But I'm kind of weird like that.
Someone from I know every word to that movie. Like, it's a fun random fact about me. I know every single word to that movie. Someone from Trans Affirm reached out and was asking what the trans village was.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's just where our booth is going to be. We're going to have a lot of blankets, and you can come and just hang out with us, maybe decompress, relax.
Yeah, it's really just like almost like a chill, like a chill spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I think that's all I wanted to say before.
Yeah, I know we were at the beginning of today. We're like, what do we talk about, and what's this going to be like? And so
yeah, we hit.
Yeah, I think we didn't talk about you. You graduated, or you graduated? You graduated law school.
Oh, I wish.
You passed your test.
Yeah, I got my LSAT score, and I am going to be competitive for all the schools that I want to apply to. So
Nice.
now I'm starting that process, and everything through the law school admission council like is very complicated.
Yeah.
So it's not like applying to other schools, like it's just this whole portal. I don't know. So I'm navigating that, and I'll be applying to my first school today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm
So-
excited to hear how that continues to go. I know it's been a lot of,
Yeah.
takes a lot of energy.
It's a
of
lot,
time.
and a lot of like, give us money now, hurry up and wait. Like
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
A
that.
lot of that.
So yeah, hopefully in the next month or two, I'll start hearing back from schools.
Awesome.
Keep my fingers crossed.
Good deal.
So yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
All right.
It's been a journey.
It has been.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, come see
Toodles.
us. Yeah.
Yes. Come see us. Say hello.
Come see us. Come say hello at the march, at the after party, and at Pride. We'll be there. I'll be there. You'll be there.
I will be. I
For
will
like
be there.
all of Saturday and most of Sunday for me.
And if you come early to shit, we have free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So come one, come all.
Yeah.
Get some free shit.
Mm-hmm. Everyone likes free shit.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.